Welcome to part 2 of our Cardiff BUCS double bill. Last week, the Archers shot down Durham's ambition, but tonight we bring you a Halloween special as the Met men look to spook much fancied but inconsistent Loughborough on what we hope to be a thriller night. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Just to put tonight's game in context, we're going to bring the table up. To bring the table up as it stands today before all the game starts. Northumbria in first place, free-scoring Northumbria with undefeated Exeter chasing hard in second. Tonight's game features Cardiff Met, who've won 4 of their last 4, and Leeds Beckett are in 4th. Loughborough, tonight's opposition, have won 2, lost 2, and they edge out Durham on bonus points, who have similar statistics. Hartbury, Nottingham Trent and Bath bring up the rear in the BUCS basement. So, we've crossed the bridge. We've paid our $6.70. Some call it a toll. We see it as an investment in what we hope to be another night of scintillating BUCS rugby. I'm lucky to be joined by Alex Donbrandt, Cardiff Met player, injured with a broken jaw at the moment. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
No worries, no worries.
You'll be providing some valuable insight for us tonight on the game.
Hopefully, yeah, hopefully.
Good man, good man. So first things first, how's the injury? How's the recovery? When are you going to be back on the field?
Yeah, it's going good. It feels good at the moment. Hopefully looking towards the end of this month, hopefully, but with an injury like it is, you know, it takes time. It's a slow process, so take each week as it comes and go from there, really.
Well, you scored 9 tries for the boys last season.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be missing you much, though, out there.
No, to be fair to them, they're doing really well. No, they're putting a shift in, so I can't complain. Doing really well.
Yeah, but you must be itching to get back out there, especially with the success.
Yeah, of course. You know, it's not easy watching them. You know, we want to be out there with them, so doing everything I can to get out there as soon as possible.
Okay, and what do you think is the difference this year for you boys?
I think defensively, the boys are putting a shift in. You know, the energy and enthusiasm that they're putting in is really giving us a platform to play off. So that's a main positive for us this season. Okay,
well, speaking of energy and enthusiasm, we saw plenty of that last week when we covered the Durham game that I mentioned. For those of you that missed out, here's how it went down.
His 49 points has come from Thomas Morgan in the opening 4 games of their BUCS Super Rugby season. Man. Catterick from the tee into the heart of the goal.
Bang.
7 points to 3. Cardiff still lead. Catterick still there for Cardiff Met. And it could be the opening score of the game. Well, you mentioned it, Joe. All the territory, all the possession going to the away side. They don't convert any points. Cardiff for the first run inside. They've done them 22. They're going to pick up maximum here. Drive coming forward for Cardiff Met. And they could be over. They are indeed. Second try of the game for the home side. It's 8 minutes or so left to play. We did have a little bit of a stoppage. But it's a superb scrummage here from Cardiff Met. That's his strong stuff. And they may get their just rewards here. Need an offload. And then they may get it. They are really putting Durham to the sword here in this first half. And they've scored once more. Superb counter scrumming from Cardiff Met University. Line out indeed, that is the case, and they've taken it as well. Here comes the drive to Durham on response. Good defence from Cardiff Met, but Durham on the front foot, and they're driving towards the line. This could be a score for the away side, and it certainly is the case. Exact start that they've been looking for at the start of this second half. Superb. He's been superb from the tee tonight. This for the lead. Well, gives the home crowd something to cheer them. And that is indeed the case. 5 penalty kicks coming from Tom Catterick's boot. Don't need me to tell you where that's gone. Six points clear they are. Sends on its way and over, and now that could be a 7 bridge too far. Durham still the line out. De Glanville drops the ball. Ball knocked forward. In fact, forward pass is what's been given by a referee. He has a look at his watch and calls the game. A famous win for the Welsh University. 31 points to 22. They've never beaten Durham before. Well, they have now.
So Durham down, And Cardiff Met on a roll. It's the first time that you've beaten Durham in years. What's the feeling? What was the feeling in the camp after that?
You know, a really good win for us. You know, the boys were buzzing after it because, you know, we put the hard work in and it paid off. You know, all these early mornings that we're putting off, we're starting to see the results from that now. So long may it continue.
Yeah, I mean, the comeback was very, very impressive because there was a time there when Durham were really on top of you, but you found a second gear and fought back.
Yeah, you know, that's what we're all about. We're all about staying in a game. You know, sometimes the game does get away from you. You can't have it your way for the full 80 minutes. So for us, it's all about staying in a game and taking our opportunities when they come. And
a mark of the success of your season is that your captain, Alan Evans, can't get back in the team at the moment.
Yeah.
But the man who's filling the captaincy boots is Tom Morgan, who's having a fabulous season for you. We're going to have a look at some of his contributions last week here on the screen. A try and a bunch of kicks. How important is he to you?
You know, he's been pivotal for us this season, especially with his boot. You know, what he gives you off the boot with his high kicking percentage, he gives you that platform to keep in the game and he puts you in a position to win the game as well.
Yeah, I mean, the guy pretty much doesn't miss, and when he kicks that ball, it stays hit, doesn't it?
I know, he's got a long boot on him, you know. He likes to let us know he's got a long boot, but that's the way it is.
So nice and humble, is he?
Yeah, no, he's a good lad, he's a good lad.
Okay, well, but look, one area of concern for you guys might be that you produce a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde performance at scrum time. As an aficionado of the engine room, where did it go wrong, and what are the conversations you've had this week to address the problems you encountered in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, looking back on our performance in the scrum, it was quite inconsistent. I mean, first half, it's fair to say we were quite dominant. But going into the second half, we lost that dominance and that gave Durham a platform, you know, to play off. So for us, it's just about sticking to our processes. You know, we know what's expected of us at scrum time, but it's all about buying into those processes and as a full weight, scrumming together.
And has Dan Milton had you guys hitting the machine this week to try and reinforce that?
A little bit, but you know, we're all about playing that all-rounded game. So in training, it's all about, you know, hitting all the areas that we need to improve on. So yeah.
Okay, so you're injured at the moment, but you're keeping yourself well involved in the club, in the team. You've taken on a bit of an analysis role. Yeah. So what do you think about this Loughborough team who you have this evening? You know,
yeah, we've had a look at them, and you know, they're a good all-rounded team. They like to play. They've got a good kicking game as well. But for us, looking at them, we want to have a focus on ourselves. You know, if we can do the things that we want to do and improve from what we were talking about last week, then we put ourselves in a good position.
So you want to deliver your game and let them worry about handling you?
Yeah, at the end of the day, we know if we put in a performance we want to put in, then we'll be there or thereabouts.
Okay, well, one guy that we did come up in conversation with us before the game is their man Richie Lewis, who has been featuring at 12. Yeah. Very, very destructive ball carrier. He's actually playing at 8 this evening. We've got a bit of footage of him here. How do you go about stopping this 124-kilo juggernaut?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting switch from 12 to 8, but you know, as you can see from the clips, he's a strong ball carrier. He likes to get his hands on the ball, but for us, it's all about nullifying this threat. You know, get these leg chops in, get our head over the ball, and see if we can slow down the Loughborough ball. And if we can slow down that Loughborough ball, that puts us in a good position to attack from.
Sounds like a pretty strong strategy to me.
Easier said than done, but we'll go for it.
Well, as I said, you beaten Loughborough, Durham for the first time in years last week. You haven't beaten Loughborough for 6 years. Yeah. Is that going to motivate you, or is it going to weigh heavily on the side?
No, definitely motivate us. You know, we're a young team. You know, we got experienced boys there, but we also got some young teams, like I said. So we're there. We're going out to play. We're going out to give this Loughborough team a right challenge.
Excellent. Okay, right. So we got your view, but I caught up with both coaches, Gerard Mullen and also Dan Milton, earlier up pitch side. This is what they had to say. On the bounce, morale must be sky high. How do you keep the boys' feet on the ground?
Well, I think we're really pleased with how we've started the season, and you know, there's been some good performances, but I suppose it's maybe not focusing on the result and focusing on the process and trying to make sure we get those things right, and hopefully the results take care of themselves. But you know, I suppose that's what we do.
Yeah. And your home has been a fortress so far. You're welcoming Loughborough. How are you approaching this game?
Well, first thing is, it's always exciting to host Loughborough, you know, one of the best rugby programmes, university rugby programmes in the UK. So it's always a big game for us. It's always really exciting. We're really looking forward to having them join us this evening. So, you know, we've done a little bit of prep on them, and we feel we're going well. So we're just really excited to see how it goes.
Okay, and you haven't beaten them for 6 seasons. Is that a motivation, or is it going to weigh heavy?
Well, you know, it was interesting. Obviously, last week we played Durham and we hadn't beaten them for a while either. So, again, let's focus on what we need to do to get the nuts and bolts right, and that result hopefully will take care of itself. It's
another beautiful night in South Wales. How are you guys going to play this game tonight?
Well, it's always sunny and calm and beautiful here in Wales, but look, the way we want to play is that sort of attacking brand of rugby, and perhaps that's something that hasn't been perhaps as flowing as we'd have liked to have seen. You know, we've based a lot of our wins so far on really solid defence and some really good kicking from Tom Morgan. So with a night like tonight, it would be nice to see if we can, you know, put a bit together in attack and get a few more tries on the board.
And last one, you've got a very settled team tonight, but you've got hungry guys on the bench wanting to take their position. How's the competition in the squad as a whole?
That's one of the exciting things. You know, we picked up a few injuries early season to some of our key players. So Aled Evans, club captain, Alex Donbrandt, who unfortunately is not back from fitness, and Luke Northmore. And we've managed to get Aled and Luke back to fitness. But the boys have been going well, and those two have got to earn the jersey back. But that hopefully does give us a bit of impetus from the bench. So probably look to see them early in the second half and see what they can bring as well.
Excellent stuff. We wish you all the best. Thanks so much, Dan.
Thank you.
Right, Jared, good to see you. Always nice to have you on the show. Disappointing result last week. What's the chat this week?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think credit to Leeds Beckett. They're a much stronger outfit than they were last year. They've obviously recruited well and had a good pre-season. They look strong. I think, yeah, we've probably blooded a lot of new younger guys this year, and kind of probably them for first hit out on Wednesday. We thought they did fine, but I mean, those guys need to adapt quicker to this competition because it is fierce, you know.
Yeah, you had a really good win against Hull Ionians in Nat 1 at the weekend. Is that going to be impetus for your boys to kick on into BUCS this week?
Yeah, I think so. You know, it's always tough competing across two fronts, but from the boys, quality performance on Saturday against Hull, and we're hoping obviously that can kick us on. There's real good energy in the camp this week.
Yeah, so you mentioned you've mixed the team up. It's not looking quite as settled as usual. Richie Lewis is into number 8. Oscar Hurtsky-Douglas is back out into the centres. Does everyone just play everywhere for you?
Yeah, no, I thought you'd notice that one. Yeah, I think, you know, struggling a bit with injuries probably in the back 5, and we're quite lucky where we have those. I mean, Richie, quality player, you know, he's experienced in kind of the back row and the centre. Same with Oscar, and Oscar kind of has played a lot of sevens with England's sevens academy. So those guys have the skill sets and they can adapt there. And kind of at the time we do have the injuries there, they can really help us out.
That's great. And are we going to see Loughborough play as they always do?
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken all week around. We want to go and play tonight, you know. We need to value the ball better, look after it, and hopefully if we do that, we should be able to go through the phases and hopefully play some entertaining stuff.
Excellent. Well, we wish you the best. All the best, mates.
Thank you.
So, the teams are beginning to come out. We're going to have to jump. Alex, it's been great having you so far. You're going to come back and join us at half-time.
Yep.
And we love an impartial guest here on the Super Show. Who's going to win tonight?
Have to go over Cardiff Met win.
Ah, how about that? Thanks so much, Alex. We'll see you at half-time, which leaves me to hand over to Jack Zorab, who's going to call this one for you, and he's going to run you through the teams.
Well, thank you, Joe. Yes, a very good evening from here at Cyncoed. Now, by the end of tonight, we'll be halfway to Christmas in our coverage of BUCS Super Rugby this season. And this round 6 tie pits a Cardiff Met side who have really hit their straps in the first block of the season against a Loughborough University team who, in truth, are still looking to find their feet. A stunning opening night victory against the champions Hartpury side, of course. Loughborough have flattered to deceive and have just 2 wins from their first 4 games. Cardiff Met, by almost complete contrast, have won their last 4 games following an opening night hammering at Northumbria and are unbeaten at home as well. One similarity, though, between the two sides tonight, they are both struggling in their respective Saturday leagues. Cardiff Met team will run you through them now. No changes to the side which beat Durham. A luxury for head coach Danny Milton to be able to pick the same team through a Wednesday to a Wednesday. Watch out for the centres, Tom Morgan and Max Llewellyn. Morgan, the leading point scorer in the league this season so far. And Max Llewellyn, the son of Gareth Llewellyn, 92 times caps for Wales, a career spanning 3 decades. Max has some way to go to live up to his old man, but it will be interesting to see how he goes against Loughborough tonight. Well, to Loughborough, 10 changes, 4 of those positional to the side that lost to Leeds Beckett a week ago by just a point. The most notable then picked up in the preamble by Joe. Oscar Hurski-Douglas switching from 8 to 12 and Richie Lewis doing the exact same in reverse. The big number 12 playing at number 8. Watch out for the runs he looks to make off the side of the rucks and taking lines off his centres as well. The captain, Matt Edwards, making his debut for Loughborough back in 2015, a real experienced head in the centres to lead the men in purple. Well, wherever you're watching us tonight, if it's on the BUCS website, on Unilad, on STV, do get social with us. Use the hashtag on Twitter, BUCS Super Rugby, or comment if you're watching it on Facebook. Joe Burns is an excellent on social media. He'll be reading out some of your comments, so do get them in. Let us know what you think, and let us know where you're watching from as well. Side point 2 tonight. It's the first day of November, and Loughborough are taking it very seriously indeed. They're raising money for prostate cancer, testicular cancer, mental health and suicide prevention. And do follow Loughborough Rugby's Twitter account if you want to find more about that. It's a little early to see the fruits of their labour on day 1 of November, though, unfortunately. Over on our left-hand side, Cardiff Met being welcomed onto the pitch by their substitutes, by their fans. The Union Bar is only a stone's throw away from this pitch, so home support expected to be vociferous at Cyncoed tonight. Well, the captain's ready for the toss. The man in the middle tonight, Gareth John. Kickoff just moments away here now, and Joe Burns, welcome back to the Crow's Nest here. Interesting preamble, the thoughts of Alex Dombrandt, really interesting to see the focus that they're putting on the way they want to play the game, and they don't just want to be one-dimensional. Their defence has been the most impressive thing about them so far this season, as they've gone 4 wins from 5 games, but they are looking for something a little bit more X-factor tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking to Dan Milton before the game, he's conscious of the fact they haven't played quite with the ambition that they would have liked to throughout the season. Obviously, wins are important, and they've based those wins on tight play and that enormous boot from Tom Morgan. Both sides, like every side in this league, are looking to play. I think we've got a real game on our hands tonight.
And it's a big game for the man with the ball in his hands here, Chris Davis, coming in at number 10. Loughborough have come down here with none of their top 3 point scorers this season due to injuries. So a lot rests on Loughborough's number 10, Chris Davis. Cardiff Met secure the ball taken in by Jack Arthur. First box kick up by Ben Williams, superb kicker in those spaces and puts a tricky one onto the head of Jack Antonio. Good start from Ben Williams, right on the money with that box kick.
And a good contest nice and early for that kick. They say a kick is only as good as its chase, and they certainly showed plenty of hunger for that one, Cardiff Met.
Straight and true by Jack Fielding. Hit up through the middle. That was by Harvey Scott. Scored a try against Durham last time out. If you're watching last week, you'll notice that our cameras were pivoted on the other side, so we're giving the look back at the bandstand today. And Cardiff Met looking to get their fans out of their seats here. Taking the game to Loughborough early on. Williams finds Simpson at 10. Scott. Ball goes to ground, but it's tidied up by Corey Wayne, who's looking for a big game, the right winger. Taken out well. Loughborough's Toby Hutchinson marshalling the right wing into touch.
Yeah, good pressure there from the Loughborough centres, forcing that ball to not go to hand. Corey Wayne having to turn and then attack. He looked to do well initially, but then the African Violet was all over him like a rash and into touch. I think he picked up a try against Hartbury, so he's got scoring form. I'm sure that he's going to want to reproduce that tonight.
Callum Lynch goes for Vukasinovic, but it goes over the top, and Rubazniak takes it off. The wily number 7 also scored a try last time out. Number 6 and 7 for Met to the fore against Durham, and Tom Morgan almost got the ball out of the tackle there, the captain.
It's an advantage, Blue, knock on.
Dobinson, well, an early one up there, despite the whistle having gone. George Simpson, number 10 for Cardiff Met, coming through on his opposite man, Chris Davis, letting him know that he's there every time he's going to be kicking. There'll be a man with a shock of blonde hair in his face.
Yes, the man with the James O'Connor lid and the rapid 100 metres. I know that you explored that information before the game. We'll be putting pressure on him. New guy in the 10 jersey, a lot of pressure on him, a lot of expectation. That's definitely the tactic. Smother him early.
Bind. Set.
Loughborough, shorn of so many of their players coming down to Cardiff. Some out of choice, some forced, of course. Young players in the side.
Can't reward people for standing up, boys. Safe scrum.
Gareth John happy to reset that scrum.
Scrum down.
Scrum's talking point in the last game. That was referenced in the build-up, just how Jekyll and Hyde Cardiff Met were. First half superb, second half they capitulated. Which Cardiff Met scrum will we see tonight?
Well, it's not a particularly promising start. I think that they're probably a little bit lucky to get away with a reset there. They look for all money that that'd be a Loughborough penalty. Let's see how they respond here on this one.
Ball put in by Cam Dobinson, but he's not going to get that one back easily. He does. Super work from Richie Lewis, though, who tidied up really well. Difficult to know whether you can call Richie Lewis a makeshift number 8 or a makeshift number 12 who's returning to his preferred position. He has the talent to play in both positions, though.
Well, there was nothing makeshift about the way he handled that retreating scrum. Cardiff Met retorted strongly there, and Richie Lewis did very well to pick it up, distribute the ball. I think he'll be able to handle himself in that 8 jersey.
One more. Thank you.
The Loughborough scrum has been a strength of theirs. They were very, very impressive against Hartpury in the opening round. So I think Cardiff Met might have their work cut out.
Max Hill rising the highest there to take that line out down.
Back around now, back around.
Loughborough
Don't change lines.
getting the creak on.
That's once now. No. Stay there.
Dobinson with the box kick. Too far for his chasers to put any pressure on, so Tom Benjamin has a bit of space to run it back.
Blue.
Short lines from Cardiff, but they're turned over just on halfway. Dobinson now. The scrum half looks to work something, and Simpson it was there who was blocking that. George Simpson, we've only seen him in defence so far, really, for Cardiff Met, but when he gets the wind in his hair, he really is quite something. Watch out for him trying to look for space, trying to make a break for himself. And if he does, watch out, because he could go all the way.
Yeah, they have a number of attractive runners in their back line, always looking to attack the space in between the defenders. We saw it on the opening play on the far left there, where Tom Morgan, big old unit, running between the defenders and attracting interest both sides, then looking for the offload. It didn't go to hand on that occasion, but that's a tactic we'll see Simpson employ, one he used last week. On the defensive point there, though, as well, that was on for Loughborough there, and it was a great read from Max Llewellyn, who shot out and pressured the handling, and that's what really saved them there, I think.
Well, Matt Edwards there just receiving a little bit of treatment, or a few tactics potentially from Gareth Harris.
Yeah, hold.
His first start, the captain, in BUCS this season. He's had an infamous start to the season, has Edwards, red-carded in National 1 against Roslyn Park at the beginning of the month. Copped a 3-game ban for that, so looking to use his experience in a positive sense in BUCS Super Rugby. Now, Loughborough go through the forwards. Toby Hutchinson. Now Davis switches with Edwards in midfield.
Okay, tackle. Fine.
Dobinson has the attentions of Cardiff Met's defence, and Loughborough having to scramble. Davis, now Hursky Douglas, the England Sevens academy player. Hutchinson, nice hands in tight spaces. Ball goes to ground there. There is a film of wet on the ball here tonight. It is a soft track and a slippy ball as well.
I think, well, you mentioned the greasiness of the pill, but the main thing is both defences are shooting incredibly hard, looking to blitz hard and put pressure on those ball skills. In these conditions, they're going to be very, very testful.
Yeah.
And, well, we're going to be very social tonight. We're going to be giving you all the scores.
I'll go that side of it.
EURFC, the league leaders at the moment, are down 7-0. Sorry, not league leaders, undefeated EURFC, down 7-0 to a rejuvenated Leeds Beckett.
Yeah, the Lazarus-like comeback in this season, Leeds Beckett, after their poor performance last season.
Yeah. It's a real renaissance from them, much like Cardiff Met, who had a disappointing season last year. Every team performing at a very, very high level this year.
Penalty to Met. Very much the play's been focused on the centre. Middle third of the pitch so far.
Yellow square, blue coming across.
No side managing to penetrate the 22. Can Cardiff Met work something from here? It's Benjamin who finds a safe touch.
Get where you are from.
We'll be endeavouring to bring you score updates from across the country tonight. We've got 3 crucial games that kicked off at 7 p.m. this evening. We obviously have the feature clash here, but elsewhere, Hartbury are hosting free-scoring Northumbria, while, as you saw there, Leeds Beckett currently leading 7-0 against Exeter.
Tidy line-out from Met. And as Loughborough did to them 5 minutes ago, they put the squeeze on and enter the 22.
4! Side entry, 4 blue. 4 blue, side entry.
Advantage to Met, and Ben Williams digs for it.
Stay blue!
Goes straight to his fly half Simpson, who puts in a crossfield kick. This is 1-4. His chase is to go after. Well watched by Loughborough. And a few afters over on the far side, which the home fans get out of their seat for.
If they do anything, we'll deal with it, won't we?
Mark looked like it had been called.
I think we're in there. Back for the penalty.
But they'll come back for the penalty. Gareth John, well, he wasn't getting flustered by that one, was he, Joe?
No, very no nonsense, and that's what you need down these parts. There's a lot of fire in these young men's bellies, which is great to see, so long as it doesn't boil out of control. I don't see any problem with it, and neither does the ref. He's handled that very nicely.
6. Where's he gone?
You do sometimes sit on the fence with these sort of things, Joe, so it's nice to see nail your colours to the mast.
I'm reasonably old school in my approach, so...
Who doesn't like a dust-up on the far side, as long as you're far away from it, from my perspective.
Yeah, you wouldn't catch me in the mixer, but so long as the big boys are in there looking after it.
So first chance for points here for Cardiff Met. Tom Morgan, Captain Fantastic, lining it up. Straight and true from Captain Morgan. 70 points so far this season, make that 73. Cardiff off the mark against Loughborough.
The unmistakable thud of the boots of Tom Morgan. He is a real asset to this team, and he's going to punish any penalties, certainly in the Loughborough half, or maybe even in the Cardiff Met half.
Davis to restart for Loughborough.
Off feet now, blue. Use yellow.
Williams goes high. Hanging one as well. Watson has to come forward for it. Morgan it was that tapped it back. And a knock-on given against Loughborough. Well,
Knock is there.
Morgan
Knock on first.
chasing
Then
well.
hold it.
Williams' kick was perfectly placed.
Knock on first, then you stop with the advantage. Holding on, penalty.
Turned into a penalty for holding on.
Knock on.
Well, the difference in
Holding,
kicks
stopping the
there,
advantage.
Jack. Loughborough, pretty poor kick-off there. Went long, poor, weak chase, comfortable catch of Cardiff Met, crashed it up, got a good platform, and then they retorted with their kick. Strong chase, and look at them. Penalty and in the corner and pressing.
Benjamin again, who doesn't hold back on that one, getting to within 7 metres of Loughborough's line. They do start well here at Cyncoed, Cardiff Met. Difficult place to come anyway, over the Severn Bridge.
Yeah, that's my mark, so you're
Down
half
to
an
a
hour
damp
off,
and dewy Cardiff night. Met playing the conditions better so far.
More.
Met looks to wrap around, and this is over to Rubazniak, who has the first try now as well. The open side, second in 2 games. David Rubazniak. Cardiff Met, they were off to a good start. Make that a flyer, 8-0.
So that pressure coming home to roost. Their line-up's been very, very good. It's going long, and they're exploiting the gap between the 10 and the 9 and the pack on the line out. They found a little bit of a hole there again and converted ruthlessly. That was a feature of their game last week, ruthless execution. Tom Morgan's on the tee. You wouldn't bet against this being 10-0.
And they have 2 flankers at 6 and 7, both in complete concert. Harvey Scott it was who peeled off the blind side, and he knew he had Rubazniak with him. Such a short pass, but all it was needed. Scott and Rubazniak, they're the 2 who are keeping club captain Aled Evans out of the side, and you can see why there. The hopeful cheer from down below us, not convincing the assistant referees. Full credit to it though, full gusto that was given. 8-0 the score stays.
Well, Jack, we mentioned before the game that we like to keep things social here and receive a few tweets. We've actually had one from a bit of rugby royalty, an ex-Hartbury player and current Spain Sevens international, Jake Carter, who's enjoying the coverage but would like to be kept abreast of movements in the Hartbury game. So we'll try and bring that to you, Jakey, when we can. Keep your tweets coming in, everybody. We'd love to hear them.
Well, Hartbury, as we hear another cheer as the fans do fill in here at Cyncoed. They may not have been present for kickoff, some of them, but they are starting to file in now. And that cheer for the ball out on the full, going back to the 22. Loughborough really under the pump here in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's a partisan crowd down here at Cardiff Met, and those Loughborough errors will only serve to feed the monster. So they want to cut that out, silence the crowd, and rebuild their game from here.
Met again from a similar position to where Rubazniak's try come from. This time they go to the backs. Missed pass from Williams. Taken by Edwards. That was a vital intervention from Loughborough's captain.
Yeah, we will.
Back to Davis, who goes long, and Cardiff Met have done well to get back for this one. Shaky old pass, though, from Benjamin. Jordan Roberts, who tied it up well, the left winger.
Blue!
Williams, short to
Tackle
Harry
12.
Seward.
Stay there, Blue. Stay now, stay.
Simpson struck it not all that well down the throat of Callum Watson. Gets lucky with the bounce. Watson, originally slated to start on the right wing for this one, shunted to full back as a late change.
Touch. Knock on advantage. Advantage yellow.
Now Simpson again goes for a dink over the top. Well gathered in. The big paw there of
Hold
Seb
under pressure,
Brownhill.
no advantage coming. Knock on.
George Simpson showing his willingness to attack and be creative, the number 10. It's what Danny Milton is looking to see a bit more of, that attacking flair. Their route one, though, so successful at the moment, Joe, that try, and then again, but for poor execution.
I think their ambition from an attacking sense is plain to see. You see that little chip there from Simpson. You see them putting the ball through the hands. But the thing that is edging them in this game at the moment is every bounce, every 50-50, they're on the ball. They're winning those half challenges. Loughborough are missing out. And that's the difference I see at the moment. Loughborough haven't had any quality ball to attack with. Sorry.
Ward it was who brought it away to the left, the number 8. Now Williams has players sweeping over on the left-hand side. This is Rubazniak again.
No impact.
Now Ward takes it on.
Yeah, he's moved. The ball's available. Fine. Ball is available.
So many options for George Simpson.
Man holding him in.
He switches play and gives away the forward pass in doing it.
Definitely forward. Definitely forward.
Joe, you were hanging out of the crow's nest here to have a look at that one.
Scrum.
Well, Simpson gave his best Oscar impression of disbelief, but that was definitely forward from where I could see.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
Just going back to bring up Hartpury, they may be struggling in the BUCS season this season a little bit, but big day for them this week with Seb Negri being selected for the Italian Six Nations squad coming up. It's just another example of the type of standards, the type of players which BUCS Rugby and University Rugby can produce within a year, within 2 years of having left university.
Without a shadow of a doubt, Seb Negri is obviously the poster child, the captain last year. But you've got to look at players like Harry Randall, the scrum half, who's featured so heavily for Hartpury in their championship season at the moment. Yeah. Hartpury are in the top half of the table in their debut season in the championship. They had a number of university students playing on Saturday when they picked London Scottish away, which is a massive victory.
Yes, we ready? Oh, great.
Their ears must have been burning, Joe, because as we see the update coming in, Hartpury taking the lead against Nottingham Trent.
Okay. Good.
I can't remember the last time Hartpury lost 3 games, let alone 3 in a row, so they'll be fighting hard to make it not a 4th.
Yeah, the champions, well, they started off against Loughborough. Loughborough taking them to the cleaners at home in Loughborough's first round.
Keep this gap, boys, okay?
And since then for Loughborough, it has been up and down a bit. That great win at Bath, the side. They come into this just 2 wins from 4. They're also second in their Saturday league in that one.
Second bottom.
Second in from bottom.
Second bottom. There's a big difference, Jack.
I'm glad you're here, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah, they've been struggling. I think with their Saturday side struggling, then the inconsistency on a Wednesday, you're seeing a lot of chopping and changing of the sides. If you look at the guys who are at the top of the league, they're very, very settled. You see few changes at Exeter. This Cardiff Met side, very, very familiar. And Northumbria, they're pretty much putting out the same team week in, week out.
Yeah, Loughborough, a team in need of momentum, in need of building a bit of confidence, I dare say, as well.
Yellow. Go back.
Richie Lewis there, bunny hopping forward.
10. Use the arm, mate.
Useful field position here if Loughborough can secure it. Cardiff Met went up for it, almost stolen, but well taken in the end by Toby Hutchinson.
No.
Now Loughborough start up the engine again. Vukasinovic on the ball, the big number 5.
Same ball.
And now this is motoring towards the line, well inside the 22. Loughborough keep it together as well.
Same ball, still moving.
Asking all sorts of questions of Cardiff Met here.
No.
The organisation stays as well.
Yes.
Cardiff Met not giving away a penalty, determined to combat it legally.
That's used now. Good.
What can Loughborough come up with from here?
Hands away, yellow!
Dobinson to Davis. Now out to the captain Edwards. Ducks inside. Straightens the line, does Edwards.
Move,
so
yellow!
Close, within a metre now. Loughborough over to the left-hand side, and they do get over the line. Loughborough's number 3, George Davis, the try scorer. In his 4th start in BUCS this season. only game he missed was the last one against Leeds Beckett. Powerful surge over the line on the left-hand wing from the big prop.
Yeah, Jared Mullen will be absolutely delighted with that. It's the first time they've had any consistent ball. They get into the Cardiff Met 22 and they come out with a try. Really, really strong try. They're lethal from that range. They've showed it in games previous. And a huge, huge call from George Davis there coming round the corner. We could hear it up here screaming, and there was no hope of the defender stopping him from there. Nice low position, travelling at velocity, try time.
And you talk about mismatches in rugby, that certainly was a mismatch. Number 10 and number 14 against George Davis.
Yeah, very nice from Matt Edwards though as well, straightening the line there. They were getting a little bit lateral, very strong as well. Took about 3 hits to bring him down. Created that front foot momentum, quick ball, and they're in.
And what a settler for Chris Davis as well, striking that one straight through the post, no problem for the number 10. Loughborough bring themselves back to within a point. Just over 20 minutes played here at Cyncoed. One apiece on the score sheet this game, finally balanced midway through the first half. Vukašinović thought the ball was coming to him. Cardiff Met gamely got up there. But they'll play the knock-on.
Clear away, yellow! Yellow, move! Stay there. Stay. Carry back.
Dobinson to Davis, and Loughborough looks to run it out of their 22. Hurski Douglas straightens. Big defence from Met.
Yellow! No. No.
That was Max Llewellyn.
Advantage over. 3 phases.
Putting in the big hit.
Stay there.
Antonio took it in on the left wing, and now Musa Youssef drives forward.
Stay.
Such an important player for Loughborough.
Good.
Not seen him so much in this game so far, but perhaps that carried the first of many.
Knock on.
Chance here for Loughborough, picked up. No advantage coming from the knock-on, so it looked for a moment like Loughborough might be on the breakout again, but Gareth John calling them back into a scrum.
We'll use the line.
Uncharacteristic spill from Vukašinović there. He's usually excellent in the air and has hands like shovels. If he'd taken that, Loughborough were definitely on and we were looking at a breakaway try. It's amazing what momentum is in this game. Having been under the cosh for so much of this half, they get that opportunity, take it, they're within 1 point, and you feel a changing of the tide a little bit, Jack.
Crouch!
Yeah, well, both sides looking to play, but also looking to play within structures as well. The box kick being used by both nines, Williams and Dobinson. Williams now has to try and get some tidy ball from this scrum. Finds Corey Warren on the right wing, chipping nicely down the line. Callum Watson does really well to escape his clutches. The ball will stay in here, fielded by Fielding. George Simpson evades the first man. Now Williams feeds his front row.
Knocked on.
Cyncoed again.
No, it's not. Knocked on.
The chance for Loughborough to break away. Here goes Lewis, the big number 8.
Come off, yellow!
Switching in from 12 for this game. Cardiff marshalling well. Chance out wide if it does go, and good hands from Loughborough.
Backwards.
Until that point. Real let-off for Cardiff Met. There were numbers away to the right.
Not moving yet. Move away. You put yourself there, you can't move clear. 11 yellow.
Nice
Jordan Roberts there incurring the
yellow.
wrath of the referee. Joe.
Yeah, nice passage of play there from both sides, actually. I thought Watson, the Loughborough fullback, dealt with that threat very, very well. Good kick, close to the touchline, nice distance on it. You saw a big violet wall come to greet it, a turnover, and as you said, it was absolutely on in that wide right channel. The man who caught the difficult ball was the second row. The man who caught the ball that he should have been streaking to the line with was the fullback. Riddle me that, Jack.
Certainly not in a position to pass comment on the skills of these boys. But they are struggling a little bit with the damper conditions. Certainly that can be said.
Thank you.
Cardiff is up to its tricks with the weather. It may not look like it, but it will be a slippery old ball with the dew on the ground here. Loughborough trucking forward again. Hutchinson, who's got through a lot of work in this first half so far, the number 4, switching into the row from blindside against Leeds Beckett. Dobinson Davis now puts boot to ball, asking questions of Benjamin. And Benjamin replying very well from a tight angle. Watson's under it, and they do play it quickly. Antonio. Tom Morgan, who came through the ruck and caused havoc for Cam Dobinson. Davis plays scrum half, and his hooker plays fly half. That's Callum Lynch. Edwards, who now puts boot to ball well. The error's creeping in on both sides. And it does seem that if you play long enough in this conditions tonight, you will drop the ball at some stage. That's what we're seeing. No side really managing to go through phase after phase and retain the ball.
Yeah, it's becoming a little bit bitty and fractious in this last 10 minutes. One person who has impressed me, though, is Davies, who's growing into the game. Having been starved of ball, he didn't have an opportunity to shine for the first 20 minutes. He was in a position to conduct that first attack of Loughborough's that led to their try. He slotted a great kick from the touchline, and now he's playing with some real vision. That kick to the corner was wonderful.
Let's keep him there, okay?
Well, if you are enjoying tonight's match, do let us know where you're watching from, what you think of it as well. Engage with us on Twitter via the hashtag BUCS Super Rugby.
Try and use.
It's a real arm wrestle of a match so far. Real pack led as well. And the respiration clear to see.
I think Loughborough are looking to target this Cardiff Met scrum. They're fired up every time they go into it, shouting it, trying to put pressure on the referee a little bit as well. They're calling for a penalty most times when there's disruption at scrum time. The ref will not be swayed, though.
Let's go, Tony! Yeah. Loosely square up, mate. Good lad. Crouch! Bind! Set! 1, 2, 3, screen!
The scrum a real point to work on for Cardiff during the last week, since that match against Durham where they were shunted all over the park in the second half. Solid platform they're providing here for the backs. Knock on though, again. Promising play. Loughborough will have the scrum over on the far side, right in front of the Met fans. They may get their voices out for this one, Joe.
Yes, very much so. So I think Loughborough will be pleased with that outcome because Seb Brownhill on that scrum was in a right pickle. He slipped his binding from the word go and was struggling to free his arm up as he was hampered by his opposite man trying to take advantage. As he said, they're now on that far side. You can see a few of the clubmen there in their number 1s, university ties. I'm sure they've got some choice remarks and criticisms for the away team.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing one of their chances tonight. We saw it briefly against Durham, but something to do with anyway. Stand up and put your shoe on your hand if you support Cardiff Met. It was one of the more esoteric ones we've seen, and very welcome as well.
Is that not the way that you barrack for your side when you're at a big game, Jack?
I've not seen it before.
I know that drinking from one's shoe is very in vogue these days. So maybe it's a nod to that pursuit.
Yes, possibly it is. Possibly it is.
Watch on.
Try scorer for Loughborough. George Davis just biding his time before packing down for this one.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Hold!
Met get the creak on Loughborough.
Try and use.
But Loughborough with the penalty.
They finally get that penalty that they've been looking for all game. That'll be in the referee's mind now. Can they keep that pressure on?
Not driving square.
Well, they incurred a yellow card last week against Durham in the shape of number 1 Sam Cochrane. He had 10 minutes in the cooler for an infringement at scrum time.
I think that walked hand in hand with
No, you were fine.
with a bit of an altercation with an opposite front row member before that. So a cumulative one for the big fella.
It was a damaging one for his side. After that, Cardiff Met never really recovered, and despite Cochrane then joining the fray again, he did do nothing to stop the pack going backwards.
Yellow. Right.
Well, they might have had their troubles, but I did mention their resilience, that when at a time that Durham seemed to be marching towards victory, they turned it around and put the squeeze on and got that victory.
Here goes Richie Lewis, taking the ball off the top and barrelling into centre field. Now fielding the hooker follows up.
9 stay.
Loughborough looking to their big carriers before going to the boot via Davis. Line out just outside the 22.
Yep, there's your mark. Yep, that's you.
Bit of a miss kick there from Davies, but Loughborough won't mind playing their rugby up at this end of the pitch.
And I do beg your pardon. This is fielding throwing in. That was Loughborough's hooker Callum Lynch, who trucked it up through the middle moments ago.
No hands down, Blue. Stay there. Move. Tackle. Outside.
Alec Ward
Carried back.
driving
Yellow.
around the side of the ruck.
Carried back. Stay outside.
Williams again with one of these nasty box kicks under these lights, but Watson does superbly to take it in. And yet, right on halfway, Cardiff Met
Yellow on ball.
get the manacles onto Watson and
Effective clearance. Hold it.
manage to work a penalty. So, Tom Morgan, do you think he has the distance from here, Joe? It looks like they're going to Benjamin anyway to ask to kick the corners.
I'm surprised by that, because I was informed by one of the Met coaching staff that Tom Morgan put it over from his own 10-metre line in the game previous. I'd be looking to maybe build a little bit of distance between between the two teams.
Well, there was a reception committee for Watson, and he just got tackled at exactly the right point. Cardiff Met all over him there, and now they have this line out and field position to try and conjure something up.
That's one.
Fielding
side.
Burrows for the ball.
He's through the middle. He's through
Williams,
the middle.
though, says it's up to the backs. Simpson. Wayne coming in off his wing, looking for work, the right winger. Simpson has to go straight. Dobinson it was who stood up to him. Pirouetting in centre field. Jack Arthur. And now Ward dodging the tackle of his opposite man, Lewis. Good momentum this for Cardiff Met. Morgan now, Llewellyn onto fielding. Wayne has a chance here in the corner. The right wing steps in, Corey Wayne. Known for the spectacular on that right wing. That a workmanlike finish, but it gives Cardiff Met their second try.
Well, we've bemoaned the quality of hands in the last 15 minutes, Jack. But that, quite frankly, made a farce of the conditions. Sensational vision, handling under pressure to free Wayne. A little bit of footwork with the covering tackle coming across hard, and a great try there. It's another example that every time we've seen each team get into the danger zone, they're converting. If they get their passages together, phase after phase, these defences can be broken down.
Really was super hands, and Toby Hutchinson, the lock for Loughborough, coming across, stood no chance against the fleet-footed Wayne. Morgan, though, sliding that to the left of the post, so only 1 from 3 Tom Morgan so far in this game. but Cardiff Met, importantly for them, have the lead.
Yeah, as I said, Jack, they should have gone for the posts. What do you know, Burnsy, eh? What do you know? Great ambition rewarded with a try and 5 points.
Yeah, they set you up for that one, Joe.
Yeah. They can thank me for the commentator's curse.
Simpson gathers it in. Watson looking to try and work something, but in the end, a little indecisive, the fullback. Good hands now to Vukasinovic. Dobinson. Back to Dobinson, good offload. That from Max Hill.
No, it's never on ball. No, 7 ruck.
Loughborough now happy to play from inside their own half, but they just risk the turnover.
This man preventing the contest, off feet. Ball is still in the ruck. 8 yellow, off feet.
Aled Ward, a little bit indiscipline there at ruck time.
Initial drive by 7 was legal. 8 yellow, off feet, ceiling.
Cardiff Met are very strong over the ball. We saw it last week. They're like limpets when they do clamp down. They're being a little bit inaccurate at the moment, missing the ball and just missing that first bite of the cherry. Obviously, you can't go for the ball twice. He was calling to the 7 to leave it. He did ruck through, but then we see Aled Ward come in from the sides, disrupt illegally.
Well, David Rubazniak may well be having...
Watch for this straight throw. 1. Fine, more. Don't take back. Back around now. Back around. Taken down. Good. Stay there. Off. Stay. Fine, first man, turnover legal. First man. 7 yellow off feet. Carried back. Back out, purple. Foot 12, no. 3 move. Off feet now, 12. Stay there. Ripped. And backwards. Yeah, 2. Yeah, you've got 45 seconds left. Tackle, yellow! He's making all the effort, he's going that way. Okay, wait, boys, good. In the line, never held. Tackle there, Blue. Stay there. Late tackle, 4 Blue. Late tackle. Time off. 4 Blue, come here. 4. Time off. I've got a late tackle by 4 Blue. Correct. Okay, I'm thinking penalty only. Yes. No. ball's been in play more than 4 minutes. There's more than 3. Sorry, mate. The old hammy style.
Well, welcome back everybody. As you can tell by the absence of Jack's Roger Moore-esque dulcet tones on the commentary and my questionable banter, we've had a few technical issues which have hopefully been resolved, and we missed a fair bit there, including the absolute wonder try from Loughborough there, Jack.
Yeah, Will Foster, such a shame. It just happened literally.
So, at the second time of asking, we're back with a little bit of audio for you to complement the second half of rugby, which I believe is starting in 1 minute's time. Apologies for that interruption there, but we can bring you some information, which is in the other games around the country, Leeds Beckett are locked 7-all with Exeter at half-time, while the league leaders Northumbria trail Hartbury 12-3. So these weather conditions having an impact on the free-scoring nature of the league, and we're seeing a couple of real squeakers out there, Jack.
Yeah, certainly is tight across the land, it seems. I mean, down here, none more so than at Cyncoed. Just 1 point in it, and that try, which you would have seen on your screens, by Will Foster down the right wing. What a score that was, made Cardiff Met look a wee bit silly on that right wing. Takes Loughborough back into the lead.
An absolute wonder try though, Jack. With such strong defensive displays from each team, it could be a moment of magic to separate these guys at the end of the 80 minutes.
Could well come down to that, but 40 more minutes to decide what the outcome will be. And Loughborough tidy work from the restart. Cam Dobson with the box kick again and finds a good touch just underneath our commentary position here. We'll get a chance to see how the darts are for number 2 for Cardiff Met. Jack Fielding. Fielding, really talented ball players. Won the BUCS Sevens competition with Cardiff Met last year. Really knows his way around a field of 15-a-side and 7-a-side rugby. But that's a fine lineup to set up this play on the far right-hand side. Corey Wayne, the try scorer in the first half for Met, taking that in. Now powering forward goes Harvey Scott. Superb offload in tight spaces for Cardiff Met's first try. That going to Rybazniak. Now Williams, Simpson switching play. So unpredictable. George Simpson, especially tonight, he's always looked for the unobvious option. Now here comes Benjamin away to the right, and Rybazniak cutting back inside, the Dragons Academy player. Actually turned out for the Dragons against Northampton in pre-season. And Williams, this is now, breaking upfield. The scrum half, taken well. Ward missing out. A decoy runner, it looked like, and Fielding does the same. So risking that a little bit, Cardiff Met, but Loughborough do get their mitts on them in the end.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of crossing in the midfield there to me. So I think maybe a little bit of justice there to be wrestled out into touch and for it to be a Loughborough ball. Great break there from Ben Williams. Penetrating run, could have done with a little bit more support. They were in behind the defence. If there had been a Rybazniak on his shoulder, it definitely would have been try time. We saw Tom Morgan miss a kick at goal there, penalty to close the half, 16-14 up. He's missed a few from the tee tonight. It'll be interesting to see how Cardiff Met react and what their game plan's going to be, because he seems a little bit out of sorts this evening, and he's the man who they've been relying on their crucial kicks, and they're building that scoreboard pressure over their last few winning games. So maybe we're going to see them throw it around a little bit more and be more reliant on crossing the whitewash.
It will be interesting to see how that plays out in the mind of Tom Morgan as well as his decisions as captain too. One thing we do know from that match against Durham, though, is that he doesn't falter when the pressure's really on, so he probably won't mind stepping up after 3 misses to try and have a pop at goal.
Maybe it's too easy for him at the moment. He only likes the big plays, you know, the ones that get written about in the papers.
Well, the time we're having off here is just for an injury in the Loughborough ranks. Over on the far side, Callum Watson just receiving attention.
I think Jack Fielding as well down for Cardiff Met.
Yeah, middle's here, yeah. Good. Yellow,
substitute
where you are
for Loughborough as well. Quintin Costa has come into midfield. Watson, though, stays at fullback, so
four.
Crucial attacking player for them.
More now.
Shaking off
Back
that
out.
injury.
Go all the way.
Net keeping Loughborough in their own 22.
Go back as well. Eight off. 8.
Momentarily.
No. Once now. And outside.
Dobinson it is who bides his
Outside,
time
9.
and goes for the box, and it's going to be fielded here by Jordan Roberts.
Big double hit there.
Stay there.
Simpson, like a curling footballer's right boot that, and
Come back, 21.
Watson has to watch it carefully. This is Benjamin setting off upfield, the fullback. Not had too much of a chance to run with the ball in open space. Tom Benjamin. Drive forward from Sam Cochrane. Simpson now works the hands free and almost works the offload too.
From blue.
Cam Dobinson it was with the intervention there.
Outside 9. Yeah, I'm going to move it. Yeah, good.
Much more of a ball-playing start to this second half.
Still outside 9. Yeah, stay bound.
I'm a big fan of your man Simpson. His willingness to try things in the invention. As we spoke, it could be a champagne moment to separate these sides, and I wouldn't back against it coming from him.
Now here's Morgan onto Fielding, but Fielding again just ushered out, and it's the new man on Costa who marshals Fielding very well.
They've marshaled that touchline very well all game, Loughborough. When Cardiff Met have tried to put it through the hands and get it out wide, they've used the touchline as that extra defender. Sort of crescented the last man. I see Fielding look for an inside ball there. but the penultimate man had come up a little bit harder, didn't have the option, hit him from the side, he was tackled from the front, wrestled out, and it's Loughborough ball for the line out. The line out, their set piece, one of their big strengths with big Vukanicevic up there, claiming them from the skies.
As our cameras train on the pack, getting a bit of refreshment. Cardiff Met, meanwhile, make a few changes to the pack and also to scrum half. So Ben Williams' work for the night is done. And so is Aled Ward at number 8. And also Harry Seward, who's carried well all night, going to have a breather on the sidelines. The new man on for Loughborough, by the way, he may watch out for number 21.
Yeah, mine is there, okay, so where you are.
On the bench today, but played in National 1 earlier this season.
Watch on.
For Loughborough. Also captained them against Cambridge University back in September. So
hold there, please.
Looks like he's playing inside centre.
Great line out.
Quinton Costa, number 21, a man to watch out
Sorry,
for.
19. Get him out of there, sir.
All eyes on the pack at the moment, though. Repeatedly taking Cardiff Met on here at the Mall, and the men in purple have another penalty for their efforts there, as Dobinson, well, juggled with it a little bit.
19, yeah, come here.
Could be a card
19
here.
yellow. Come here, mate. You do not throw a punch on my field. Leave this one.
Tough lines. Aled Evans, club captain, just come on, thrown a punch, and he's straight back in the cooler. Well, no place for that on the field, as you heard Gareth John. And
strike to the chest.
A small part of you might feel for Aled Evans. He's come back, early season injury, seen his place taken by the two back rowers here who are having such a super game, having such another super game. And now he's come on and not distinguished himself there at all.
It's a difficult one. He's obviously champing at the bit, having been robbed of his starting place. He's come on to make an impression, be a big enforcer, but that indiscipline can be so costly in BUCS rugby. We saw the pressure they put on Cardiff Met last week when they lost their prop Sam Cochrane. Can Loughborough capitalise?
No, back out.
Callum Lynch patiently waiting at the back, looking left and right, trying to find the space.
No.
Yusuf now takes it on as
the big moose.
Hurski Douglas loses his shorts momentarily. He's not too bothered by it, is he? Loughborough plough on.
Taken down by Blue. So they're tackled.
Short line. This from Costa, the new man on. Hill. Move slows down through the open side, but
yellow.
Loughborough patiently recycle, and now Yusuf. The purple wave coming here. Cardiff Met, though, survive through that forward pass. It's a little escape for the home side there. You sense that Loughborough were building.
Desperate defence from Cardiff Met, admirable defence from Cardiff Met, but the man who will be absolutely kicking himself is Cam Dobinson with the forward pass there. Sure, it was slightly overrun, but he delayed that ball and he shouldn't have given it. He should have known to put it out the back. He had a little error there when the pack were rumbling forward on the drive. A little error there. Hopefully that's not going to play too much on his mind.
Your entry was fine, just don't collapse.
That was an opportunity.
Well, the pass was to Seb Brownhill, whose sizable frame was training in on Cardiff Met's try line.
They've got a lot of good quality from this driving maul tonight, though, Loughborough. That was the platform for their first try of the opening half in the left corner. They drove up there, got the penalty just now. Another drive setting the platform. It's something that Cardiff Met are going to struggle to deal with 7 forwards on the pitch.
Ben Holt, the new man on for Cardiff Met, putting the ball into this scrum. Back from a hamstring injury. Might not be fancying the first interaction coming inside his own 22, but pulled away really well, has to be said, by Cardiff Met. Until that point, penalty inside the 22, very kickable.
8 Blue, clear release, back on ball.
especially with the form that Chris Davis is in so far.
Huge penalty there.
Hey, blue, clear release, back on ball.
Wonderful carry from the Archers to relieve that scrum pressure. An excellent turnover from Richie Lewis. What do you say? What do you think, Jack? I think try for Loughborough here.
That carry away just from Harvey Scott. Well, it's certainly in the danger zone, isn't it?
Yeah, fine.
And with that driving maul I just highlighted, Vukanisevic's dominance in the air, you wouldn't not back him.
Lynch, the man who has to find his man first. Musa Youssef, who goes up for it, and
right now
Loughborough look to rumble forward. The 7 men of Met
back around. Back.
having to dig deep here. Vukasinovic, the number 5, controlling the ball in the centre of it. And they come away to the left, where it's pulled out. Met pickpocket that maul, brilliantly so. And all of a sudden, Loughborough back inside their half. Hursky Douglas, who had to do the target. Now they have a penalty on the 10-metre line.
22, off feet.
Try stopping Ben Holt going quickly from here. He does indeed. The new man on, bringing the energy for Cardiff Met. Rubazniak. Flick out the back, goes to Jordan Roberts.
Tackling there.
Met, shake it off.
Yeah.
Not interested in the penalty. The home side, they power forward. Holt. Rubazniak as well, it looks like, who's brought Met to within a metre. What a breakout this is from the hosts here. Simpson at 9, but the forwards go over. Still within a metre. Holt has men away to the left, but it's still with the forwards.
Off.
Met searching for their 3rd try here.
Held up. Time off. Captain. There's a lot of pull you out of them. Come here. Captain.
Well, now Loughborough could be in trouble as well.
Tackling there.
That is incredibly unlucky for Matt Edwards. Incredibly unlucky. He's coming in for the tackle. The spill from Roberts. Jordan Roberts on the wing. Then had to leap to retrieve the ball, and that's what created the high tackle. I feel so unfortunate for the defenders in these moments. You see it again there. He had no idea that the guy was in the air. His head was already down. He jumps up, and that's what causes the dangerous tackle.
He didn't jump into the tackle.
Well, when you put the case forward like that, Joe, certainly mitigating circumstances for Matt Edwards, but not for referee Gareth John. 14 aside now for the next 7 minutes or so until Aled Evans comes back on for Cardiff Met. So it's all square.
Now touch.
In terms of numbers, can Met
tackle
finish what they started here? Again, within half a metre. The ball recycled. Met's forwards look to pick and go. It's Hill in there for Loughborough, who looks to turn it. Holt goes up to the back. Simpson with the crossfield kick. This one set for Benjamin. Tipped over, though, by Loughborough, and the ball just escapes. Quick line-out taken, not
back to the penalty.
A little bit too cute there from Cardiff, so
No.
they had the penalty coming. It was a shot to nothing in that sense. But Simpson probably will be a little disappointed, Joe, not to have put that a little bit more on the money. Credit the defence from Loughborough.
Well, I think he put it right in the sweet spot. He had 2 guys competing for that, but the Loughborough winger dealt with it superbly well, and very, very lucky to escape. Great vision. They've tried the crossfield earlier, and I think it's something they're identifying and getting purchase from, especially when you've got a free penalty coming.
Vukasinovic, who incurred the penalty for this next line out. Cardiff. They do though, from that Fielding's throw, taken back by Loughborough, and they take it over their line.
Blue, scrum, yellow ball.
And you hear the cheers from the Met fans over on the far side. They're about 60 metres away from play, but making their thoughts very clear there. Pressure still on Loughborough.
Yeah.
Immense amount of pressure on the cards here, Jack. Can Loughborough cope with it? with 14 players each.
10, sorry, 10.
But persistent infringements from Loughborough. They could see another man go off if they yield here. But it's their favourite part of this game so far, scrum time.
Harvey Scott it is who's backing down in the number 8 slot.
Set! Hold.
For Cardiff Met. Will it be up to the flanker to go? It does go to Harvey Scott, and he goes for the line too. Ball knocked backwards. Holt has it in his hands. Looks left and right, and in the end goes himself.
Move, Blue! Hands behind.
Met having to recycle it. Harry Dobbs, who picks and goes, the substitute prop.
Move! He can't move from there. He cannot move. Yellow going forward, cannot move.
Once more, scrum to Cardiff Met. The tension ratcheting up here. Loughborough just doing enough each time, though, to repel the home side.
Harvey Scott looked like he was over. Look at the gap. The seas parted. A great cover defence. Lucky not to spill it forward there. The scrum half got a little bit disorientated here. Look, he's got men screaming around him. But they've got another bite of the cherry.
Stay square, Blue. Yeah, square out. Lucy, square out. Good.
Jacko. Lower, lower.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
The extra weight in this scrum added by Captain Tom Morgan, and Scott digs for it again.
Fine. Move 6. Hold it. 6. 6 no clear release.
Ball coming.
6 no clear release.
Driven forward by Jack Arthur. Now this by Cochrane, who looks to have found a gap, knocking on in the process.
And another yellow coming here. After the warning to the captain, Cam Dobinson, the standing captain. Big player to lose as well, the big moose. He carries, he tackles, he turns over. He's a real leader in this Loughborough side.
Two of their biggest leaders now in the bin. Musa Youssef heading for 10. He's back in the BUCS side after playing in National 1 at the weekend versus Hull Ionians. Scored a try versus Bath in the last live stream game we saw Loughborough in.
Right, captain. Who's captain? Yeah. Too many voices coming through now. They come through you. Yes, thank you.
Cochrane, who had taken that short ball. So Loughborough down to 13. Cardiff still down to 14, but it does look like Aled Evans is coming back onto the field momentarily.
Well, despite their illegal infringements, it's imperious defence from Loughborough, but I just don't know how much longer they're going to hold out for. Speaking of holding out, Exeter are well under it away at Leeds Beckett. They are 21-7 down, the unbeaten Green Machine, looking to become a cropper against Leeds Beckett. They came back from a big deficit against Hartbury last week, but Leeds Beckett, striving for their first home win ever in BUCS Super Rugby, could be taking a massive scalp of chief-like proportions.
Setting down, another scrum then. Both sets of front row forwards being put through the mill here in Cyncoed.
Bind! Set!
Met scrum holding up much better in this second half than in their last one. But it's this time Holt who doesn't do the job. Loughborough disrupt and get the ball back on their side. Well, Met, they've had chance after chance in that one.
Lock on.
Ben Holt just a little bit slow to pick it up off the deck.
It's a massive moment in the game, spoilt well by Loughborough. And your man Simpson there just couldn't gather it cleanly. Do you know what? The men were lining up out to the left as well, wide. If they'd been given a little bit more time by the ref and got it out there, it could have been a strong counter on the cards. Big exit coming from Loughborough here. They need this exit.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Hold! No, now.
Well, Dobinson didn't dare put the ball in there.
Walk away. Walk away, shush. Right, listen. You put scrummage in it, me, Donny. This is the same scrum. If you talk to me again through your captain, I'm penalising you.
The referee ruling with an iron fist, isn't he, Jack?
Well, two pumped up sets of forwards. Loughborough under their own post. It's going to bring out the angsty side in them.
Stable. Crouch!
Gareth John, though,
Bind!
controlling this one well.
Set!
Has been multiple scrummages now. Dobinson happy with the set for this scrum.
Use!
Richie Lewis picks up but goes backwards, the big number 8. Goes backwards to go forwards, though. Dobinson picked up by Holt. He gets his own back, scrum half, steals the try. Cam Dobinson went for the kick, and he didn't reckon Ben Holt being in his face, jotting down. Super try from the substitute scrum half. Back from a hamstring injury, Ben Holt, sorry Joe, back in amongst the tries as well.
I was going to say despair for Loughborough after all their hard work to finally win possession back and have the opportunity to exit. Ben Holt, the cheeky scamp, giving great pressure there on Cam Dobinson. Let's take a look at it here, shoving him, pesting him. He's on Richie Lewis there. Then he's back up, sniping around, identifies Cam Dobinson. Great pick up and over for a crucial score.
And this time Morgan doesn't err from the tee. 7-pointer taking Cardiff Met into the lead, 20 points to 14. Ben Holt, well, we saw in the very first half, in the very first 5 minutes actually, how George Simpson was putting pressure on his opposite man to try and get in his face, try and force the charge down. That time, it didn't lead to anything. This time, it's led to a 7-pointer. Just all about endeavour for Cardiff here at Cyncoed. And now Simpson puts in a decent boot downfield too, but it hasn't found touch. Fielded by Will Foster, who scored that superb try just before half-time.
Well, that score has not only put Cardiff Met into the lead, but the Archers faithful are in fine song. The famous Welsh voices that we always hear about are ringing through the night sky here in Cardiff.
Now off, Blue!
Dobinson scragged that time. Davis plays scrum half, and the defence up in your face by Cardiff Met.
Off now.
Jonathan Hughes,
Stay there. Yellow.
the new man on for Loughborough in the 22 shirt. Max Hill.
One. Not beyond the ball.
Dobinson to Davis and Hursky Douglas. A few hitch kicks in there, looks for some space.
Tackle. Stay. Use. No. Stay.
Box kick was from Dobinson. Benjamin came forward really well to claim it.
Off now, Blue.
Knocked back in the tackle.
Stay. Move back.
Ben Holt, the try scorer, who moments before scoring that try had conceded possession by being a little bit slow to pick the ball up. He was slow there again, but then managed to work a few yards.
No hands now, Blue Rock.
Holt, better ball to Simpson. Looking for space here is Luke Northmore, and now Benjamin again.
7 off feet now.
Holt opens things back up. Cardiff Met really playing with their heads up.
2.
This Morgan, short ball as well. Good hands, it was from Harvey Scott, and this could be another score. It will be over on the far side. It looks like Jack Arthur in the corner. Cardiff Met, 2 tries in 2 minutes.
Wonderful hands. As we said, the wind are in their sails in terms of the crowd and in terms of their play. There was a beautiful straight line through the middle there. I think it was Tom Morgan, was it? He was certainly in the mix. And then great hands out to the big fella, Jack Arthur, probably on the touchline having a breathe, and he finds himself sliding in for a winner's try.
Fantastic to see a lock in full flight on the wing. Credit Harvey Scott particularly for that brilliant line from the number 6. Morgan it was who fed Scott, puts in one fend, and that's a perfectly weighted pass. Stooping a little bit, yes, when you're Jack Arthur's height, most things are going to require you to dip a little bit lower.
The ball, Max Llewellyn did want to leave it as well. It would have been tempting to try and clutch that one and risk the knock on. Good discipline.
Great nudge.
More of the footballers strike that one from Tom Morgan, unsuccessful, so the scores stay at 25 points to 14. Cardiff Met, well, 10 minutes ago they were under their posts, a quick breakout later, and then multiple scrummages after that. Ben Holt went over, and now they're sitting pretty. 11 points ahead of their visitors here to Cyncoed.
Yep, about a quarter of the match for Loughborough to respond. I'd like to see a more competitive kick-off, not going long, something contestable. They seem happy to give it to Simpson to clear the lines every time.
Blue!
Quick forward from Hughes. Simpson pulls the ball away well. Cochrane on the charge. Now Cardiff have numbers away to the left as well. Benjamin, interception though from Lewis. Watch that well into his hands, the big number 8.
Fine balls out.
Dobinson fielding all over him though.
Get him!
Cardiff Met sensing they may have Loughborough here, really going for the jugular.
7 tackle.
Loughborough, let's remember, the 28 times champions in British Universities rugby.
Good. No. No hands down, Rob.
Brownhill carrying that ball forward, and Davis with a flat pass. Hutchinson.
Off foot, no. 17 move. That's off football.
Back inside to Hursky Douglas, who works a bit of space.
Never held.
Dobinson now chooses to go wide. Brownhill again taking that one forward. Loughborough going through the phases here. Hursky Douglas once more. Davis. Back to Costa. Cardiff do manage to reorganise a little bit. The purple wave comes again.
Fine, ball is there.
Costa takes a short line, does well to offload too. This is good hands. Vukašinović just putting the ball to floor and Met escape. Could have a chance here too. Twisting out of a tackle. Rubazniak puts a chip in too. This is super stuff from Cardiff Met. Tap on from Benjamin. It's Will Foster who gets back. But Met who get the try. What a breakout from Cardiff Met. Their 3rd try on the bounce. And with that one, you sense the ceiling score. 15 minutes remaining. It is all the hosts here at Cyncoed. Benjamin, the try scorer.
The crowds have gone absolutely berserk here. The stands are rocking after that one. I thought that Tom Benjamin made the wrong option in kicking and not catching it on the full after the kick. Here we come. Here we go. So he's got the option to catch it here. But he kicks it instead. But he continues the pressure. And it's a spill from the Loughborough man that creates opportunity and surely puts the Archers into an unassailable lead.
A fantastic chip from David Rubazniak. Already has 1 try, and that assist, an absolute peach. Credit Benjamin, he had a lot to do, and he showed that Cardiff just as much a football town as a rugby town. Morgan taking a fleck of paint off the post, but it goes through. It really is a super performance now in this second half from Cardiff Met. Sorry, Joe.
I say that the things that impressed me the most about Cardiff Met is all these tries have been built on their relentless and muscular defence. It's been 2-up hits throughout the game. They're swamping Loughborough. You mentioned Loughborough as a wave, a purple wave there. But they've had adequate sea defences to quell that tide. And they're up off the floor quickly into the line, populating the midfield. And Loughborough just can't find the gaps. When they do run into traffic, they're not met by one, they're met by 2 men. And after a while, they concede possession. And the transition play from the Archers, Loughborough can't deal with at the moment.
3!
Simpson, who pumps that downfield, it doesn't find touch. The try scorer, Benjamin, watches it into his hands and chips over as well. This is Dobinson who's back.
10.
Fielded by Simpson. Chip and chase from number 10. Looked like he could have been checked there, but for a moment, Cardiff Met.
One change
And Ben Holt thought he was in for a second, and Cardiff's 4th in this second half.
Pardon? Yeah, that's why I can't play advantage. The man who's caught the ball has been obstructed, not playing advantage.
Penalty nonetheless.
Let's take a look at that again. That looks like a slightly soft penalty from where I was standing.
Post.
Wow, we missed it just there. The big number 1's a difficult man to get around with that size, but Simpson has been excellent though this half, hasn't he? Just wanting the ball every time. Every time it's been on offer, he's been screaming for it, and he's done something every time. He's a threat with the boot, with the hands, with his feet. It's a great little prospect.
Well, he had an interesting summer, did George Simpson, playing with London Irish and the Singer Sevens. Actually getting on the score sheet as well versus Northampton Saints. Former Harlequins under-16s player as well.
Fun, thank you. Cheers. 1 blue obstruction. Post goal.
So just a score update for you over Nottingham Trent. 21-12 to the good there. All eyes on Tom Morgan here at Cyncoed.
Straight over.
Scores stay as they are then. Morgan erring from the tee. It really hasn't been his night from the tee. But he'll be mightily happy with his side's effort here. Bonus point try already. And playing some fine stuff here in front of their home fans. Well, they'll be on our screens soon enough. Will Cardiff Met again. Up in Leeds that time against Leeds Beckett in our next live stream. Simpson now coming away to the right. Morgan goes straight and agonising lead for him. Can't hold on to the ball. Dobinson tidies up.
7.
He's had a lively game, has Cam Dobinson, and certainly a few things haven't gone his way. That charge down kick, top of the list. When Loughborough have been playing well, Dobinson's been the one who's been dictating pace. So you see Foster go down on the ball. Loughborough massively ringing the changes now. New man on, Harrison King there, scraping forward. He's had a run out with Leicester A earlier this season, Harrison King. But the turnover here for Cardiff Met as Morgan, though, case of just taking his eyes off the ball, looking outside into where the space was.
Blue ball. Clean ball, not under pressure, no pressure. Knock on, scrum, blue. Yeah. Time off. Yeah. No. 9. 9. Blue ball. Yeah. Clean ball, exactly what you got from a scrum. Knock on. Okay. Watch on.
Let's go, come on, Dobbo, let's go.
Here's our mark.
Come on, Sean.
Yeah. Thank you. To the left, yeah?
Yeah, perfect.
Good.
Well, our clock saying 69, but the clock in the stadium saying just 5 minutes to go. We don't know what's on the referee's clock.
Thank you.
But time
Crouch!
will soon be up for
Bind!
Cardiff Met
Set!
and for Loughborough. They,
Not standing.
short of an absolute miracle, won't be coming away from Cyncoed with a victory. Cardiff looking to finish with a flourish. They
7 off that
take
lot.
Richie Lewis low.
Offside. 6.
This is Travers.
Penalty advantage. Never.
Hursky Douglas stretching his legs on the left wing, puts in a chip as well. Well, Dobinson's after this. Benjamin has to look lively. The ball not going to him either, bumping into his teammate. That'll be a penalty for offside. Well, Loughborough.
Calm down. Calm down, otherwise you'll join him. Playing the guys. Leave the field.
Another yellow card. Cardiff
Let him
Met,
leave the field.
number
Time
8. It's Aled Ward who
Mark is there.
is getting a rest, and we won't be seeing him for the rest of the game. Travers goes
7.
for the corner.
7. Oi. 7. If you can't even deal with that, we're going to have problems, yeah?
Bit of a globetrotter, Matthew Travers. Played a season for the Dubai Exiles during his placement year in the UAE. Now back at Loughborough, getting a run out here for the last 10. The number 20.
Time off, boys. Got a man down here. He needs to leave the field then. Okay. Right. Excuse me. What's this been caused by?
Dobinson, the man here who receiving a bit of attention and the inquest from the referee as well.
I think just checking that there's no head knock to cause him to be sick, a classic sign of concussion, but he says it's a bug, those university bugs, eh?
In the meantime, play goes on. Vukasinovic, normally so slick from the line out, coughs that up, but penalty coming Loughborough's way anyway. Max Hill at the base, drives forward.
Accidentally offside there. We've got a penalty here.
They'll come back for it anyway.
Captain, and that man there, please. Come here, pal. Come here. Thank you, Diana. Thank you. No. Come here. Okay. This player has got to be incredibly careful because he's already on a yellow card, okay? We have contact in the air. It is not intentional, which is why it's not more than a penalty, okay?
Well, the man being spoken
Any
to
more
here
from you, okay?
Aled
And you're going to be leaving the field.
number 19, who we saw get 10 minutes in the cooler earlier. Now another talking
Contact
to
in the
here.
air. Accidental. Penalty only.
Really risking things.
You may, yes.
The Cardiff Met club captain.
Line it up.
Let's take a look at this one. Got a replay here. It's clearly not intentional, maybe a little bit reckless. I think the refs probably made the right decision to give him a talking to.
Yeah, time's still off, yeah.
I think in other news, Cam Dobson's gone on. He was really at 6s and 7s, while Vukasinovic was getting a bit of attention from the medics.
The line is right.
Yeah, Dobinson off. Seemingly Richie Lewis in the number 9 slot, but he just joined that maul, the big number 8.
He does it all, doesn't he?
Loughborough drive forward. Try given.
Try there.
Slick work from Loughborough's tight forwards. Richie Lewis, potentially the man to have come up with that one. And Loughborough don't hang about either. Well, they missed that kick, taking their tally to 19. And the score to 32-19. 13 points ahead then, Cardiff Met. Comfortable, but they would probably prefer it to be more than 2 scores.
Well, I think the emphasis on the quick drop goal there is that Loughborough have probably got eyes on a try-scoring bonus point. They've got 3 in the bag. They want to get down, get some more pressure on, pick up a try bonus, and then maybe be in contention to snatch this. It would be an unlikely snatch, but strange things have happened.
Cardiff, unsurprisingly, go deep. Travers. Costa.
Yellow, stay.
Loughborough not yet daring to kick the ball back to their opponents, running it out of their 22 and doing a good job of that as well. Richie Lewis cutting inside now, stretching his legs. Really for the first time we see Richie Lewis on the rampage in this game. Vukacinovic's pass is a little bit low and Hill does superbly to collect it. Hurski Douglas not quite the same. Loughborough's move breaks down.
A little bit unlucky there. Looked like the ball went back from Hurski Douglas. See it here on the replay after some great hands. I'm wrong. Looks like he went forward. Good, great call, ref. He's had a fantastic game, the ref. He's had a bit of discipline to sort out, but it's been measured. He's yellow carded appropriately, and he's had given stern talking tos at other times. It's been well marshalled.
There's have been 4 yellow cards in this one so far.
Yeah, time's off. You ready?
He's not been afraid to go to his pocket when he's needed to discipline.
You couldn't argue with them though, could you? Maybe a little bit of bad luck on the high tackle that saw Matt Edwards go off.
Stability, right.
But
Next one's a penalty.
you have to look after the player these days in the game.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Cardiff. Do they have anything
Keep
left
going.
in the tank?
Keep going. Use yellow
Given
station,
their all
stay
in the
9.
second half.
That's out, yes.
It's been a super second half as well. 3 tries to them.
Mark there. Fine.
Lucky turn that over
10.
though. And Travers wastes no time. Costa again. It's been industrious since he's come on, the number 21. Sam Bailey, that is. Taking the ball forward, losing his scrum hat in the process. Hill. He's had a solid game for Loughborough at 7.
Knock on.
And there goes the knock on. Aware play.
No, Vanny could have come 2 knock-ons.
From Andrew Nathan Boyd to not to pick that up. Instinct would have had him do that, but did well not to give away the penalty
2
there.
knock-ons. First by blue.
So Joe, at this time,
Scrum.
minutes to go, perhaps a nice time to run us through your man of the match options.
Well, I think it's fair to be a dual effort from you and I, Jack. There's been some eye-catching performances across the board. I mentioned previously George Simpson. Every time he's got the ball, he's looked to do something, and he's executed that something. He's been a threat in everything that he's done. Richie Lewis, very, very good. He's always put his hand up to take the ball for Loughborough. Played very, very well. But I think the performance, personally, from David Rabazniak has been the best. He's been clamping down on the ball. He's had a try. He had a hand in the sensational chip ahead. And he's really been everywhere tonight.
He's had a super performance, the number 7 for Cardiff Met. Good in defence, good on the front foot. And it's Loughborough now who are on the front foot themselves. Just knocking on though, so another error.
No! Penalty advantage, side entry.
This second half characterised by less errors certainly, but just creeping in as we enter the last 5.
Offside. Onside entry. You hit it to me. Can't play it, kick it to me.
David Rabazniak, Joe's man of the match. And that will be it. Cardiff Met 32, Loughborough 19. It's been a superb second half performance from the home side. 5 tries for them in all. They've taken the game to Loughborough throughout. Half-time, the men in purple led, but they had nothing in the end to deal with what David Rabazniak and his Cardiff boys brought to the party. Full time here at Cyncoed, 32 points to 19. Cardiff Met take their 5th victory of the season. Jackson in your shot there, the director of rugby in the gilet. Di Watts as well, high fives. And for these boys, another long night ahead perhaps. Cardiff Met's super start to this season continues through to round 6. And Loughborough, for their part, they now have 3 losses just to the 2 wins. To mark your card, next Wednesday we'll be watching Cardiff Met again against Leeds Beckett. That'll be our live game on Wednesday, the 8th of November. So do join us then for that one.
So the Archers on target again as they pick up a bonus victory against Loughborough. And as things stand, with Exeter losing against Leeds Beckett, they're going to be moving to 2nd in the table. I'm joined by a very tired David Rabazniak, who is understandably tired after a massive performance. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. A good win for the team.
Yeah? You guys must be delighted. What was the tactic coming out tonight?
I think the tactic again was our defence. Just get off the line, put them under pressure. No attack was a bit shaky at the start, but we got into it and we got the tries, got the bonus point. Good win.
And you personally, you were on every ball like a limpet, looking for the turnover. A lot of you looking for the turnover. That's a tactic you boys are looking at, clearly.
Yeah, definitely slow the ball down for the team, don't give them a chance to play. And then if we don't slow it down, then come off the line and shut them down.
But it wasn't all defence. You got a meat pie for yourself there and a chip ahead for a try. Talk me through those ones.
That chip ahead, I think I pulled a hammy on now, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not doing that again. But the try was just some good work from them all, and we managed to get through then and score. So it was positive stuff there.
Very magnanimous in your own efforts, but the crowd in great song, and I imagine a big night for you guys to celebrate this one.
Yeah, definitely a big night for the boys today. Good win.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. Thanks very much, and well played.
Thank you.
Matt, commiserations, sir. It's a tough loss for you guys to take.
Yeah, no, it's disappointing. I think half time we were ahead by a point. We felt we hadn't really turned up. Sort of second half, we're looking like we get a big impact, but sadly just didn't kind of get the two yellow cards, a big turning point down to 13 for sort of 10 minutes of the game, didn't help. But I think towards the end there, we've really shown what we're about. I think when we've had to come and play, we're going from our own 22, I thought we looked pretty dangerous. I think it's just coming from the first minute, not 10 minutes to go, with chasing the bonus point.
Yeah, what about your yellow card? It looked really unlucky from where I was looking.
Yeah, no, I mean, they let the boys down there. It was a silly mistake, something I can control, but I didn't mean to. There was no intent in it. It was just purely accidental. But I paid the price for the boys seeing the try.
So other than the yellow cards, where do you think it went wrong for you guys in the second half?
I think it's fair to Cardiff Met. They came down with the game plan. They've got a really big crowd supporting them. They thrive off that. I think they're pretty dominant in the carry. I think we just sort of let ourselves down with some basic skills towards the end. I thought we looked pretty dangerous, but I think just work on. But credit to Cardiff Met, well played.
Yeah, but with your strong finish, you said you'll take some optimism still from this game.
Up to Durham next week, so a big game, Loughborough Durham, so a big crowd again. So hopefully we can build upon that last sort of 10 minutes and really take it and look to turn this season around.
Well, I look forward to you trying to silence the Durham crowd when you get up there. Thanks, cheers. So, there you have it in the background. You can see the dying embers of the crowd as they head to the Student Union to celebrate a famous victory for Cardiff Met. It's 6 years since they last beat Loughborough. I don't think they've ever beaten them at home, and it's one they won't be forgetting anytime soon. It's a bonus victory for them. Elsewhere in the league, Northumbria have made a stunning second half comeback and currently lead Hartpury as that closes. And Exeter look to be losing to Leeds Beckett. So we've spoken about upsets throughout this league, but you can't call them upsets anymore. Teams are beating each other left, right and centre, and we're in for a classic season. So on the night after Halloween, Cardiff Met proved to be the nightmare for Loughborough as they come down. There'll be fireworks in the bar later for the Archers, and we'll be joining you next week for another live game. Thank you for joining us down here, and good night.